Good evening, guys. Can everybody hear me? Could you please confirm in the chat, please? Awesome. Hey, Tiffany. Don't worry. We're gonna check cost. Don't worry. um, so we're gonna change a little bit the format today. Per popular demand, we're gonna add a section for earnings plays. Like we did last week's, we have been doing projections for earnings. So we're gonna do first futures. We're gonna do stocks, and the last is gonna be stocks that are having earnings on the week, where we're gonna do projections. We got pretty good on Nike. We hit the Nike projection last week. And the other one, I forgot which one was that we projected, but that one was a good one as well. I think it was NIO. Yeah, I think it was NIO. Okay, so let's start. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I didn't fill up my thing. So gold, I'm just making sure I don't forget any ticker. Okay, so starting by S&P 500. We bounced surprisingly at our very strong zone, top of it Friday right there. This pink line here is also the daily 50 moving average. So it wasn't everything. There was a lot of confluence in this area at the 290.50, and we had that very impulsive bought up from there. Right now we are testing this zone here between this weekly pivot and this previous 29.76 pivot, and we need to break above it and hold. This is how it's looking right now. This is this week's main pivot, so we need to stay above it for a bullish week. And this is the other pivot that is important as well. So we push through, and now we tested once. We did a lower high here, which many would see it as a bull flag right there. But it needs to hold. The bottom line is that it needs to hold the pivot. It doesn't matter what is the pattern, it's not going to work if it doesn't hold, right? So the key support at this point is 29.7567, 29.7676. So right here. If we hold and confirm, resolve this bull flag to the upside, what do we have next? Breaking this level here, 29.79, we're gonna reach the top, the key zone on the top once more. That it has been struggling with it. It struggled with it all week. Right here. 29.8610, 29.9083, 29.9285. Now, so you guys can notice already, I basically play the same levels over and over again. I have my lines and I play off of them. So look at how perfect was this rejection right here. And look at this one that pushed through, couldn't hold, retest, and fail. These are the setups we're looking for, and that's what I mean when I say don't play anything in between. Just play the extremes. Because let's say you got long or short, you got lucky on this one because it just flushed. But let's say you got long here because you thought this was a previous support, right here. You saw these levels here, and you say, this may be a support. So you go along here and get flushed. Then you go short. Let's say you go short on the break of this level here, and then you were expecting to go lower. If you didn't take a profit, then what happened? Push through. But if you got short on the key levels and long on the key levels, then you had a higher probability that you're gonna make some money. Of course, it's not gonna work all the time, but trading is nothing but a probabilities games, guys. You just had to put the probability on your side, and then you can have something going on right there. So we're still doing lower highs on the ES and lower lows, right? Is a tricky one right here. What I'm gonna mark this thing. I don't know if I like this. We have here, then you way under, crane above, we tested here, push through, came back, test, go, test, go, test, go. So yeah, that looks like a solid channel actually. It's almost like a parallel trend line here. Let's duplicate this one and see what we got over here. Extend to the left, extend to the right. Yeah, so we are on this channel here, guys. So if we keep following this pattern, where do you guys think this is going to go next? If we keep rejecting the top of this channel, where we're gonna go next? Are we gonna go here? Now, this is an interesting fact. This is next quarter's main pivot right here, 2927.08. And as we know, there is a high chance that the main pivot is going to revisit at some point on the time frame. Now, a quarter pivot is the equivalent of a 3-month period. So give me a second, guys. 1 second. Sorry about that. So we have 3 months to hit this pivot here. But right now, it looks pretty damn good that is going to maybe come here. Now, things that we have to notice, the month ends tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day trading, the last day of trading of the month, right? So where is the monthly main pivot? That's the question. Where is our monthly main pivot for October? Right now, remember guys, the math is not done 100% yet, but it should not go too far from where it is right now. Only if you have a crazy move on ES based on news, then we may have a big change on these numbers. But for right now, it should stay almost at the same spot, right? If it's going to fluctuate, it's going to fluctuate a little bit up or a little bit down, but it's going to stay around this area. So what is interesting about the pivots for the next period is that usually the algos play those pivots on the previous days. So for example, how many times have you guys seen a move after hours where I was giving you already the levels that was gonna not break above or below during the after hours? I was giving you already the levels for the next day, and miraculously the stock was already reacting to those levels on after hours. That's because the algos already knows the numbers for the next day, because the day is already over. Now you have two types of pivots. You have pivots that are calculated using only the hours of the regular trading day, and the pivots that are calculated with the extended hours. And that's what forms our zones, right? So that's what happens when the after hours trading starts. You already have the pivot set for tomorrow. So if there is a lot of volatility after hours, those algos are going to trade those pivots as if all was today. So that's the same thing with the month and the week and the quarter and the year pivots. So the month starts Tuesday. So tomorrow the algos are going to trade already based on those pivots, based on the quarterly pivot that also starts Tuesday. So this is going to be a very important level right here for ES. 2963.58 is going to be next month's pivot, right? So we can say that this is going to be our key support zone right here. It needs to hold 2958.66, 2963.67, right? And as of right now, this is our key support, key resistance, key support. It's just, you can say key zone because it's traded inside of it. So it's a key zone. If it breaks above it, then our next zone is here. If it breaks below, the next zone is here. So again, I'm sorry it's taking too long, the ES. I just thought it is important for us to talk about those things. So this is our key resistance, and this is our key support. So that's what we'll be trading off. You see how it is struggling a little bit, but it's still a valid pattern for those that trade bull flags, because it's still holding above it. It's just still taking its time. So this is the bull flag right here, and we can come back during the stream and see what happened. Now let's check the Qs, which is traded in the futures using the NASDAQ E-mini, which is the NQ. So the ES bounced from the 50 daily moving average, while the Qs is under the 50-day moving average, right? But look where it bounced Friday, right off the pivot. That's the main week monthly pivot for September. Now look how different is this setup, right? So the ES had the October monthly pivot as their support. Now the Qs have the monthly main pivot for October as their key resistance. So the scenario is a little bit different. And on top of this pivot being the main monthly, look what we have on the same level right there. I don't even know if I put it straight. I think I kind of skew it a little bit. Let me try again. If it can click. 0, 0, 0. Well, it's not exactly, but you guys can see all this action here. Rejection, 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 push through, backtest, push, came down again, reclaim, pushed, broke that crazy candle. Remember that day? Crazy down, backtest, down, backtest, couldn't break first, push, and came back down here. So this is a very important level right here. And coincidentally, it's going to be our monthly main pivot. Isn't that awesome? So that's our key resistance, our key support. Do I have the blue? Let's see. Yeah, okay, perfect. So key support is going to be right here. Mark it up. Key support, key resistance. And we are right in between. So that's when we don't take any trades, right? We're either going to take a short on a setup here or take a long on a setup here. If you take anything in between, what can happen? Chop, 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 chop. So you get stopped out on a short, get stopped out on a long, you get frustrated, and then your mental place is not going to be so good. And that's the first thing you need to take care of when you're trading, so where your mind is. So just be patient. Just be patient and take your time. There's no rush. The stock is not going to stay here. Either it's going to go here or it's going to go here. So just wait for it. We're trading above the main daily, below the main weekly. This is the main monthly for next month. So yeah, right now I would not touch at all the NQ, the Qs. I'll be watching to see what it can happen, if we can come back inside the zone here, if you can push inside the zone. Let's say push, rejects the top, and then come back down. If I can see support going on over here, you can enter long and put your stop loss right below it. Let me move. I don't want to move too much. If you want to take a short, you can try on a setup on the top, or that favorite setup we have. You can wait for a push through, can hold, retest, and then down. But if you want to take a risk, you can take a type, like what my friend Don Front says, a type 2 entry, which would be on the top right here, which is the aggressive entry, but is the one with less risk. You just have to be willing. You have to be very good on cutting your loss if it goes against you. So that would be it for the Qs. Right now is bullish on the day because it's above the day mainly, but it's still bearish on the overall week and next month's scenario until it can break above this. And as you guys know, the higher time frames beat the lower time frames. So we are bearish until it breaks above this, okay? It doesn't matter if for me it's above the daily. If it's still below this, I'm bearish on it. Now, if we come back down and retest and hold, and you take the long, once you push above it and you're already on the green, just move your stop or keep it break even. The best place to take a long would be down here. But that scenario is also valid. I also played that a lot because if it can hold inside the zone, most likely it's going to push through. If we can form some sort of base consolidation inside the zone, most likely it's going to push through and do something like this. So that's something to keep your eye on it. If we break this, next stop, we're going to find some sort of a small speed bump intraday right here on the zone, but most likely we're going to go retest here. If we break and hold above it, next level is 7812.50, 7822. And this is going to be the key resistance that we have from our stream last week. But as of right now, again, we are on a bearish territory. Let's move on. Let's check the Russells. The Russell is traded using the IWM RTY. So this is the IWM, the Russells. This is the daily 200 moving average, if I'm not mistaken. Let me verify for you guys. That's how you guys know how much I use those indicators. I don't even know what they are. So this is 200. The 200 daily moving average. Well, it didn't bounce for me because it was there. It bounced because of this pivot right here. So we were inside this zone. Was trading inside this zone, and that's why it bounced. Of course, it added some extra because of the moving average, and that's why it is in my chart, because I want to know where are the other type of traders thinking, where the moving average people are thinking, where they are, where they are waiting to enter. Is it on an area of my pivot? And that's important information for me. So we're still bearish on the week until we break above here. This is our main monthly. This is is that the main quarterly? Yes, this is the main quarterly. So this is going to be a very important area here. Everything is just right there on those key pivots. Almost a top on zone on top of zone right here. It's very interesting. But the most important, if we bounce on the Russells, I need some pivots. Let's get a purple pivot. Excuse me, Roku, please. This one. Okay, where is it? Oh, right here. There we go. So that's the most important zone for the Russells. Right there. If you want, we can even add this one here as well and extend it and do a triple thread pivot zone. Give you a little bit more intel on what the algos are doing. Activate, extend, there you go. Yeah, so the algo saw that same pivot over here and drop it on this bear flag. Let's check intraday. So it's above the daily, below that weekly pivot. So it needs to stay above this 1529 in order to retest this 1538, which is going to be the next key resistance. 1536.50, 1538 right there. If we break this 1508 is the next key support. And this is our next month's key zone. 1525, 1531, yeah. 31, 1531.70. So this is Monday, and this is going to be Tuesday. You see that those projections for the monthly and quarter. And that's why we are ahead, guys. We are playing ahead of everybody because we are looking into the future projections. Now let's check natural gas, one of the chat room's favorite, and my personal too. All right, bounce on the 2.372 pivot. Now this is going to be key resistance right here, and key support is going to be here, just with our next quarter pivot at 2.376. So you have 2.372, 2.376 as your key support. And you have this pivot zone here, which I'm going to grab for you guys in just 1 second. What is the level? Let me copy this color and mark this previous pivot right here. There we go. And here we go. Let me change this a little bit to 100. So the key resistance is going to be 2.399, 2.403. Now it's trading way below the day main pivot, which is 2.409. So you can consider all of this as a key resistance zone. The previous close line is 2.396. So all of this here is going to be a rough area for the NGs. The good news is that it bounced. That was a very nice bounce. We had a big gap down right to that pivot zone, and then we pushed. So what we need to do, maybe a first rejection, and then we hold the previous close line and or on top of the zone. Push. This is a bullish scenario. We can do the bearish right after. Needs to hold the top and then push and retest this. And from once it's above here, we really want to hold it above it. We don't want it too much to linger and try to retest down here. We don't want to lose the pivot once we get it. Yes, we can still buy back up, but why take the chance and give the bears a little hook, right? Just stay above it, that's better. We can retest here and then here. And it needs to break and hold above this zone here to go to the key resistance. So there's ways to go down up there, but we'll see. If we can break above this, we may have another retest of this zone here, which is going to be a nice profit from here to here. So far, those that shorted UGAS probably going to be thinking maybe they're worried about it because it gapped down, but it's now recovering a little bit. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Let's check gold. Almost there, guys. Just 2 more. So we couldn't hold the zone. See, this was our projection from last Friday. This part works, but it couldn't. This was we did. This was when was last Sunday, the 23rd. So it was right here, and our projection was a push to this zone here, and it needed to hold the bottom, which it didn't do it, to push through. So what happened once we don't hold the pivot zone? You sell, right? And that's what happened with GC. So if you took a long over here, you got a nice profit. You lock in some profits once it hits the key zone with key resistance, and then you move the rest to break even. So it was a nice trade if you took it. It was even better short, right? That was a very nice short right there on this break. Broke under, retested here. See this candle, this 4-hour candle, couldn't hold and then flush. So it gave you a chance to enter short here, which I was not watching. This week I barely trade, so that was a good setup. I hope you guys took it. Let's see what's next. It really needs to hold this back test right now. It really needs to hold the back test right now here. If you can't hold this, we're probably gonna get another leg down. It is that top on top of the zone that we had. Yeah. So the last line of defense is gonna be 1491.40, but ideally we wanted to hold above this 1497.20. And then a push above, push through right there, and see if you can test these highs here. Now, if you can hold this, the quarter main pivot is at 1483, so most likely it's going to retest there if we can hold. Bearish on the day, bearish on the week, bearish on the month. So it needs to hold for sure. It's looking bearish, but it was bought up many times at this 1497.20. Just let's see how many buyers are left there to buy it up. It's not got a great reaction from it. It bounced, but it didn't go too far. So we'll see if the buyers are still there. We're gonna see that retest of 1502, 1503. Buyers not there, we're gonna go to 1491. Last one, oil. As you guys can see, I fixed my internet. Isn't that awesome? No more waiting forever for the chart to load. I'm so happy. Somebody tag me in the chat. Let me just check real quick. No, all good. Okay, so oil keep playing that big orange pivot we had. If you got long on that pivot zone, we have been talking about for forever. Orange to orange, right? Last year's, this year's, it has been going there all the time. Bounce on the top of it, push through to this pivot here. And it really, I would say I would like it to hold 55.87. If you can hold 55.87, most likely it's gonna go back to 55.02 or even lower, 54.23, maybe. It's below the weekly, the monthly, the quarterly is below all those main resistance points for next periods. So it's not looking the best. Rejected many times the top of this zone right here. You guys can see right here, here. And it's not looking the best right now. So it may just fail. It needs to hold the main pivot 55.87, 55.90 zone here. If I would have to say, I'll say that it's gonna fail to hold. But we're not here to guess, right? We're here to play the chart. As long as it's above this, it's still bullish for tomorrow. If we break under, then we are gonna go down. Now, if you're watching this from early, you're probably going to be shorting from here on this fail to hold. So push through, couldn't hold, and then you'll short over there. You can even short the VWAP if you wanted, if you were watching this earlier. Yeah, that was a nice VWAP fade setup. Now, if you're short on this, playing the futures, just keep an eye on here. This is the key support zone, 55.87, 55.90. The key resistance as of right now is going to be 56.18, 56.24. And if it breaks and hold, we're going to retest the top of the zone. If we can't hold this again, we're testing the big orange maybe, which is very probable to happen. If we can hold this to retest there. All right. So let's start with the stocks. We have ROKU first. Let's check ROKU, which has been doing lower highs and lower lows. Yep. Who remembers this drawing right there? Look at that, guys. A short setup. It did happen. It did happen. And it was amazing for those who took it. I think Sophie took this. I think that was the place Sophie took on ROKU. Either she took that one or she took the retest and fail of this pivots here. Yeah, that was just amazing. Okay. So we quite didn't get to our bottom zone. We bounced twice on the top of our zone. Twice, no, 3 times. Here, here, and here. And we didn't quite test there, which makes me think, are we going to or not? If we reject this 101.11 again, most likely we're going to test the 96.11 next. The other scenario is another test of this high here, this top of the zone, and then fail. But again, if that happens, if we come back here and you try to short it, you need to take a partial. Because what can happen is that setup that we talk about that is inside the zone, hold, and then push. So if you want to scalp the short side from here, just make sure to take some profits. Because it may not fail this time. It failed once, failed twice, but it can be different next time. Ideally for the short, it would be to stay a fail of 101.11. But it's still valid if it can't break above this here. I really wanted to have a test of this low of the zone. We didn't have it yet. As you guys can see, there's a very important level we have here, here, and here. And this is the top of, I'm gonna split it. I'm gonna split in two so you guys have more data points on it. Let me grab a blue, edit. I'm gonna mark this little pivot right here. So we can have this zone. Marking this zone right here. It's just separating both zones. Right there. So we bounced there, and now we need to see a rejection of this top here, ideally, to keep doing that setup of lower highs, lower lows. we need a rejection over here to go to here. If we don't do it, then you guys know what's going to happen. Push, hold here, push, push, and go. Now this 108.38 is going to be also important level. You guys see here all this back and forth on that level. Over here as well, back test here and fail. So this is also important. Ideally, I wanted to go lower, to be honest. I wanted to grab it lower. It's not anything about, this doesn't have anything to do with this one analyst saying that Roku is going to 60. This doesn't have to do anything with that. And that's something you guys have to understand. News don't come out of nowhere. The analysts don't downgrade or upgrade out of nowhere. Everything happens for a reason, and everything happens in a level. So where that news came from? Anybody remember the day that came out? Let me see real quick if I can find it, just so I can show you guys. Where is it? I know where to find it in chat because I posted. Let me see here. From Elisa. Downgrade. Anybody knows? 13% off, bro. Yes, that's the one. Thank you so much. What was the date? The day of the pivotal research downgrade. Pivotal. It was last Friday. Was it? Pivotal. 9:20. Thank you so much. Thank you. So 9:20, where was the 20? Right here, right? 20. Right here. This was the first candle of the 20th. All right, guys. Where we were before that news. What is this? Is this the main monthly pivot? Yes, it is. Is that a key level? Yes, it is. On the day after, what happened? It came out the news. Do you really think that one analyst will bring Roku down to all that? I don't think so. I'm sorry. I really don't think so. Now, once he broke this, it doesn't matter if it was or not news. It would trigger a big sell. It would trigger a big sell on Roku if we lost this zone here. Like, it's good to know the news, but pay attention to where the news is coming from, or where the stock is when the news is released. So would you be surprised if you have another news here? What if Roku has news here? Roku is upgraded to $180. So do you think Roku is going to move only because of that news, or is because it's at a key support level? Like, don't fool yourself. The news are important, but the news are coming at that point for some reason. Just know your levels and know what the institutions are doing. If you didn't watch that movie, Big Short, watch it. There's a very interesting conversation with a analyst, bank analyst, and on the downgrade, upgrade of a stock. That's going to be very interesting. If you never watched that, watch it. That's exactly what I'm saying. Nothing is by coincidence in the market. Nothing. Just play your chart, play your levels, and the news can come from those levels. That's what I always said. I always have conversations short hammer. I always said how people get those big moves, how people get lucky. Well, they don't get lucky. They just position themselves to be able to participate of an event, right? How do you get big moves? You position yourself to be able to participate of that move. Now, if you short ROKU here, let's say you short ROKU here, right? Would you be able to participate of this? No, because you're probably gonna get stopped out on this big move if you don't know your levels. Now, if you're shorted over here, would you participate of this move? Yes, you will, because you position yourself to be able to catch the big move. Is the big move always gonna come? No, it's not gonna always come. You're not gonna always be right by shorting the key resistance. Sometimes you're gonna break above and stop you out. That's okay. But when this happens and you are in, it doesn't matter how many times it stop you out for 40 cents. Doesn't matter how many times stop you out for $21. You just cut a move of $10. So how many times you can be wrong when a $1 stop on $1 stop on the stock? 10 times. You can be right one time and be wrong 9 times and you'll be profitable. On a $1 stop, that's a big stop. Just think about that. Just wait for the key levels and take your entries, and then just follow your plan. Things are gonna happen. Good things are gonna happen. You just position yourself and you're gonna catch the big moves. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm kind of speaking too much today. So tomorrow, Roku, what we have here? We have the daily main pivots at 150. So we can create a little zone. Let's delete this one and create a smaller zone. 1 second. Need to drag a little bit. There you go. So we're creating a key resistance zone between 150, 101, 11, right there. And if we break above that, our next key resistance zone is going to be right here, which is 103.20, 103.45, 103.97. As you guys know, I'm most likely going to trade ROKU, either long or short. Is one of my favorite stocks to trade. Let's see. Next is going to be Amazon. Surprise, surprise. So right now we are on key support in Amazon. Bounce right off the bottom of it. Oops. If you wanna, let me see the daily chart really quick. Oh, this is my trend line. That's my doomsday trend line. I was projecting that Amazon was gonna go here by end of the year. We'll see if it's gonna happen or not. It will help if it breaks this level for sure, the 1700. But that's the whereas I had to a must buy on Amazon if you can hit this trend line, which in conjunction with the the big orange on Amazon. I did that trend line a long time ago, guys. Should have shorted on the failure of this pivot here, but didn't. That's fine. Let's look for another opportunity. Let's see. Just looking at the strongest. Just want to find the strongest zone. What is it? Do I have that color? I am going to mark this one here. And I am gonna grab this one right. This one right here. Yeah. So that's our doomsday line. Right there. If we can break that, we're gonna go to our trend line. Most likely. Right there. I really want that trend line, guys. You have no idea. This is for Dave. Dave, if he gets there, let's load the boat. Let's see. So we bounce off that, the zone here, which is right above that key zone. Is this earnings? Earnings on the 24th, end of the month of October. That's gonna be interesting to see if we can hold this. Most likely we're gonna retest this 1745, 1750. If we can hold here. So it's about the 40-point move. If we can't hold it, first level we have is gonna be 1674. We're gonna have this level here, which I'm going to mark. Boom. Right there. And I like this one as well. I don't even need it. I can leave it just there because we have this one. So Amazon is on a very important level. If you're looking to dip buy Amazon, see how it reacts to this zone here. You can get a very nice scalp, a short-term swing from it. You can even see a run into earnings if we can hold this. Let's see, intraday. So is the market gapping up? I don't even remember. 11 points, not bad. We couldn't hold yet. You see, failed right under. So it's below that zone, guys. Let's see if it's gonna hold until tomorrow. So anyways, the key resistance tomorrow is gonna be 1729.50. If we can trade above it, most likely we're gonna retest this 45 and 49 zone. If we can't hold this, it needs to hold here. You see there's a lot of cluster here. So it needs to break 1709 to test the lower zone. It can just stay here forever tomorrow, so be careful with choppiness. Yeah, there's not too much to say about Amazon here. We already know our levels. We have our bias setup, and we're gonna play those levels tomorrow. You see how it bounced right there? Yeah, let's see what we can get. If we're still bearish, if we could push to this zone here, would be ideal for a short entry. Wait for setup, of course. Don't just go because Amazon I can just crush you. Let's see what else. LMT. Interesting. We have a very defined key support here, which is always a good thing. Which is gonna be this zone here. Oh, which by coincidence is next month may pivot as well to 86.10. So our key support is 384.71, 386.10, and that's gonna be for the entire month, guys, of October. So just put it in your chart and leave it there. This is gonna be very important for the entire month. Key resistance. Let's mark it up. Didn't even drink coffee today. It's weird that I'm so energetic. Maybe it's because the Browns won. Who knows? Actually, it's true. The truth is that my mom is home. That's why I'm so happy. Mom is out of hospital. Thank guys for your prayers. So this is the key resistance right here. Key resistance, key support, anything in between is chop fast. Don't try to do it. Let's see if we can get a retest. It's still, see here, lower highs, lower lows. Let's see if we can get a retest here. Maybe we can get a retest, a fail, and then we go back down. It will be about, what, 5, 6 points maybe? Not bad. That would be a nice setup if we can get that. I think I'm gonna take it. I really like, you see how reject here, I mean, how back test and bounce from here, then couldn't hold here, then came up. I really like this zone, guys. Just keep an eye on it, put in a chart, and let's see if we can get a setup from there. See, this is the only thing I don't like. If we retest at 391.70, it may hold this as support on the way down. So that's about $1.50 maybe. Maybe is enough for a scalp play, and then you take a partial and see if we can crack this bottom if it pushes. So if we push here and you take a short at the top, make sure to take a profit, some partial at least, a little bit. Doesn't mean to me too much. If it doesn't work, you already made money. It doesn't matter, right? So you take a partial here, keep the rest break even if you want to, and see if you can crack. If it cracks here, most likely going to retest down here. So that's something to keep an eye on. It looks good. 389.98, 391.70, 390. Oh, so 390, 389.98, 390.50, 391.70 is the top zone. The bottom zone is 384.71, 386.15. Break below it, we're looking at 4 retest of 380. Then here, which is the most important, 374, 375. If we break and hold above it, next target, the range is not as good as to the upside, to the downside, but if we break above it, next is going to be 393.87, then 396.04, 396.50, which is going to be the next key resistance. So next key resistance is going to be here, right there. Let's go to the next one, Apple. So Apple has been on this interesting setup. I think we talked about this, that Apple was holding this descending triangle base on the yearly pivot on this key support zone right here. You can see right there. So it's a big giant descending triangle. This is a 4-hour chart. So look at this. This is the September 11th. So it's about 19 days on this pattern here. So the question is, where it's going to go? Is it going to break down or is it going to break up? Now, if again, like I always said, if you're long biased on this pattern, try to get a long on the bottom. And if you're short biased, try to get a short on the top zones. Now, key resistance is going to be this here. And key support is all this here. You can even divide it in two if you want to have a smaller zone. It's just $1.70, but if you want a smaller zone, what did I do? I think I duplicated. So this is one zone, and the last line of defense we can mark down here. Boom. So this is the funny thing. As you guys know, I don't believe in coincidence. This is the next month main pivot. Look at that. Right at the base of our triangle. So we know ahead of time that that's important. If you don't know patterns, play the pivots. If you don't know support and resistance, play the pivots. That's the biggest favor you're going to do to yourself. You're going to be playing with the algorithms and the big institutions. They all know those are there. So it's a beautiful setup right here. Now we have to wait and see where it's going to happen. The key resistance is going to be 219.47, 220.32. And the key support is going to be 217.47 to 17.94, with the last line of defense at 216.19 to 16.49. So far we have been doing this, that textbook pattern. Now it needs to break above here, our key zone. So we want to break, maybe reject first time, but then hold here and then finally push. Then it needs to hold the top and then push. Now if it's gonna fail what it's gonna do. So it's gonna come here, doesn't hold, panic sell, come here, try to hold, then fail and go back down. So you have two case scenarios right there. Intraday speaking, key resistance is going to be 280, what is it? 219, 219.47, and then 220.32, 220.71. Key support is the same. And the last line of defense is going to be the same as well. And next, Netflix. Bounce right off key support. It went back down a little bit, but it reclaimed. Reclaimed back test. See, that's the setup we'll talk about on the other stock. If it's below what we want to do, test the top, bounce from the bottom of the zone, and then push. Now it's looking like a bull flag right here. Base with our zone right here. And now I really wanted though for long to hold on this one here. So let's see. This is the cool thing. The main monthly next month is at 272.33. So if we can hold here above this and break 265, that would be our next target, 272.30. The main monthly is at 263.63. So you can make it a little bit wider to include that if you want to. Key support 259.38 to 59.83. And above this key resistance 265.79 to 67.44. Once we break above that, we may be looking to test here 272.30 to 73.55, which is the next upside target if we hold this key support. If we don't hold, then if we break to 59.30, most likely we'll test the bottom again to 55s. But so far it's working this bull flag here. BABA. Bounce right off our zone. 163.87. It's been a long time I don't trade BABA. So key resistance is gonna be right here. Which is gonna be in confluence with our daily pivot tomorrow. So BABA key resistance 168.56. All this here is so much. There's so much overhead at this zone. But 168.56, 169.32, 16 is so dimmed, 169.88 and 170.15. So it's about almost $2 zone. And above that, you still have this 171. So it's a lot of stuff going on here on BABA. If I am allowed to be greedy, I would really like BABA to go to 158.02, 159.51 for long. So if it goes there, keep your eye, set up your price alerts for this here. 158.02, 159.51 zone. If we get there, just keep your eyes very open to that. Next month's main pivot of 171.09. The main quarterly is at 167.32. So there's a lot of stuff going on this area from 167 to 171. If we reclaim here, it would be nice to maybe see a sideways action here to see like a consolidation type of thing if you're long biased, and then a push through. If you're short bias, you definitely want to fail on there of this I'm sorry, of this 168.50, 170.15. Let's check MCK. MCK had that, is that one that we got that, what's the name of that company? Citron tweet, that it should be way lower than what it is right now. Let me see. I posted. It should be at $80 according to Citron. So we may see a big gap down on it tomorrow. If we don't see a gap down, it would be nice. Sorry guys, here is like 1:40 a.m. So it would be nice to see 138.71, 139.35 retest here for a short if we don't gap down. Now, if we gap down, just keep an eye on where we're gapping out down to, because this here is a very important support. If we gap to that support, don't try to short right there. You have to wait it. Even if it flushes, don't try to short right at it. Here, this is a very important support for the stock. Right there. So that's what, about $5 down. So if it gaps up inside of this, please wait. See if it rejects the top of it, which is 131.81. That's big orange. That's a very important level. If it does, we have a chance to go to 127, 128. So it can be a very nice short. It depends how much how it's going to react. But let's see the float of MCK. The float is 184, so it's not too much and it's not too low. The short float is only 3. And this is funny, it's 90% owned by institutions. Institutions sold -3% of their positions, and insiders sold 2.3%. 2% of their positions on this. So, okay. So we'll see. Ideally, if you want to short, you really want to retest. I really like this level as well. If you can retest there. Let's grab, maybe AMRN has one. I need this one right here. I want to mark this. If we can have a retest to there, it could be a nice short as well if we don't gap down. If you don't gap down, just watch this zone here, and then you enter short to trade the news. Yeah, if you get below that, ideally we want to retest of here. So if you get below it, we want to retest here to enter short to ride to 127s. Next, shop. I guess somebody marked this before. We talked about this level before. We went there and bounced from there, which was great if you took it. I was definitely not trading this. I was not paying attention to it. If you had the level mark in your chart and you took this long, that was almost a 30 points move from here. We reject this key zone right here, back down, bounced. For continuation, we need to hold here. Break and hold this zone here for continuation to the upside. If we can't, we're gonna retest 302 again. First target, and then 300, 298, 50 next. Let's see. It's trading below the daily. So our key resistance is gonna be right here, 307.95. I don't know if it's gonna gap up or gap down, but according to the close of Friday, it's trading inside this. So this is a key zone, 305.75, 306.40. So shopper should be on watch tomorrow as well. LXRX. Key resistance right there. Key support. I really didn't want to give this low, but let's do it. I was gonna say key support is gonna be here, which I prefer. So let's do it here, and we can keep this one as last line of defense. Let me grab a pivot color really quick. So key support is 327, 331. Key zone It's going to be the main daily 340, 347. Key resistance is going to be above here, which is 362, 379. Let me mark this. So we have it on the lower time frame. $3.78. Right there. So those are the levels to watch. Key zone right here. Bullish above it, bearish below it. Last line of defense, which is our key support at 327, 326, 331. And key resistance on that level above it we talk about. So it may be a good good bounce day on this thing. Maybe test this 378 right there. If it doesn't hold, most likely gonna go 285, 299. JD. What a sell-off. And this is what I'm talking about. This is the best setup out there. Big orange, can't hold, push through. Oh, I'm sorry. Push through, retest, can't hold any short. And what news came after that? That China's Friday came that news about China. If you position yourself at the right spot, you can have those big moves set up for those big news moves right there. Short here, if you're short on this here, then you were in the trade. So that's our key resistance. If when it gets there, it's going to take some time, I think. Only if the president decides to tweet good news this time about China stuff. Where is the blue pivots? So 2750 is going to be our key support. 2741, 2752. Right there. Key resistance is going to be right here. I'm gonna mark here. So 2847, 2866, 2871. So much overhead here. You have the 2882 and this here 29. So it would be nice if we can push here. And this could be a good short setup right here. So probably going to keep an eye on it, set your price alerts. You have also the daily main pivot there, 2847. If you don't have any extra news on the China stuff, this is probably going to go back down at first when it gets here. I can expect a first rejection. If we break this, the next support is going to be 2664, 2695. And this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 high time frame pivot setup. So this must hold. It has to hold here. Last line of defense. Let's see. Boeing. So last line of defense right there. Key support up here. So this is the last line of defense, 378.94, 380.36. Key support is going to be here. 382.67, 382.76, and 382.86. So you can say the 382s. It's going to be the key support. The daily key resistance is going to be here. 384.62, 384.82. A break above it, we're going to have 386.36, 386.90, and this is going to be our important resistance right there, which is 388.12, 389.69. So bearish until above here. Remember that on the day. But it needs to break below here to confirm more downside. Okay. Let's see. Where's the? I want to see where's the. Okay, 374.82. Next month's main pivot. Let's check ULTA. Did we talk about this round bottom? I believe we did, right? This is the key. This is the next target if we can go. 250, 28 to 53.01. Key support. Ideally, you want to stay above 242.18, but if dips and hold above here, still on a bullish setup. 238.46, 240. I think we talk about this potentially being a cup and handle last stream. This was the handle right here, cup, handle, and that's the push right there. We have a speed bump at 247.20, but the main target is going to be 250. That upper level we talk. Break above a big orange, or you can see 260 next. Yeah, so you hold this 226.81, which was our last line. Below that, we only had 221, so another $5 down. It just keep hanging in there. If you took a long, you would probably have to put it below this this wick here. and you never got stopped out if you take a chance on the yearly pivot. That was very nice. Okay, so let's see intraday. Yeah, that kind of confirms the preference of holding here. Tomorrow's main zone is going to be 242.18, 242.65. So let's see if we can hold. If it dips here, watch. If you don't have a position yet, just watch for confirmation of holding, and then take your long. First big bump, and then next target is going to be here. If it doesn't hold, then it needs to hold here for sure. Or the trend can change a little bit if it doesn't hold here. LBY. Yeah, we're approaching this key zone. Just check the daily really quick. I think that's the lowest point. $345. Borrow, please. I want to mark this level here. So it's entering this key resistance, 351, 356. You can even have all this if you want to as your key resistance zone. Is entering right now 351, 356, 363. If we can break above that, then next is going to be 384. And then the 4 is 16. Key support is going to be 331, 334. Last line of defense, 323. And it's looking strong. Let's see what we can do tomorrow. We can break and go. Yeah. So if you're long, you want to hold here, no lower than this. And we push through. If you want to get short, watch for a pattern inside this zone, preferably on the top of it or on the break and retest of the low of it. To go down here, first target, second target, 323. But ideally, the higher the better. So ideally, you want to short at 413, 416. If you can get there, watch for a setup. DIS, we're almost done. We only have DIS, NVDA, and AXSM, and then we're gonna go to the earnings place. So DIS broke below this very important zone Friday. Did it close under? Yeah. See, kind of back tested. Now is the time, the clock ran out. We didn't know if it's gonna push or not. So we have to keep an eye on that Monday. Let me see here. I want to see the first. There you go. I want to see here. I'm gonna mark this in a different color. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, like a darker gray. So basically 129 will be the last line. Below that, we have here 27.59. And I want a purple line. Okay, I think I got it. Why it didn't extend though? On the right, do not show. Oh, here you go. Why is it like that? Let me remove this. It's okay, we don't need it. I'll extend later to the left. So, this is the thing. It needs to hold 129. This may be a bear flag. I am going to separate this in two zones. And the stop zone here. I need a purple. Did I mark it? Yeah, 130.68. No, that's not what I wanted to mark. I want to mark here. That's the key resistance. If we can break above. That's the short's last line of defense. So it would be nice if you bear flag here. Do like a bear flag action on this zone. And then back down. Test is 127.59. And ideally the 125.77. Earnings upcoming November 7th. So we have still a lot of time until earnings. It would be nice if you can reset this move to here, and then from here we get a run into earnings. So it would be nice if we can go down to here. So we can do a little reset. Even better if you go 120.67, honestly. That's almost like a loaded boat situation. Let's mark that just in case it goes there. Oops. I don't know why my thing's doing that now. So, of course, I got the wrong color. Right here. Good Lord. So if we can get there, that would be a nice place to grab some. But it needs to break all this stuff before it gets there. The 200 daily is also around this area, so it would be nice if we can get there and then do a run into earnings. Intraday, the daily pivot is right on near the bottom of the key resistance zone. So yeah, if he gets to the top of the zone and you short it, maybe you should make sure to get some partials down there. Now, NVDA. Is back to this. It's trading inside this key zone here. That was a very crazy buy up on NVIDIA. But I'll be only bullish if you can stay above 172.49. If you can stay above that, you have a speed bump at 173.37, which is very important speed bump. That's the main weekly. And then we retest at 174.50s right here, which is going to be a very rough area to break. If we have news or something, it would do it. Key support is going to be 169.18, 169.77. Right there. If we break that, 167.54 next. So that's interesting also to watch tomorrow. Yeah, so the pivot is trading below the daily and below the weekly pivots. So it needs to break above that. 172.97, 173.37. And we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Break below 171.12, then 169.50, 169 is on the dot. AXM, AXSM. Trading side key zone as well. Oh, wrong tool. There are multiple levels inside this zone. Of course, wrong color. All right, so all of this. So you can say this is the key support. And you can say, right here is the key resistance. I can even, maybe we should make it wider just to include this 2218, which is important as well. Right there. So key support, it's, let me change here. $21.65, $21.86, $22.18 key support. Key resistance, we're gonna make it a little bit wider to include our daily pivots. Oops. Let me mark this 2261 really quick so we don't need to guess what is going on there. 2261. There you go. So our key resistance is going to be 2261, 2301. Key support, key resistance. Next key level is going to be 2385, 2417. And so the first bias is short until it breaks here. So what you're looking for first is a short setup on this area, 2261, 2304. And if you don't get that short setup and it breaks and hold, we're changing our bias to be a long bias. Again. Next target will be here, 2352, 2385, 2417. Okay, let's go through the earnings real quick. We're gonna check SFIX, PAYX, BBBY, PEP, SDZ, and Costco. Stitch Fix, expected move, implied move 3.80. This earnings is going to be on the first after market, so Tuesday. It's trading right at that key support. You see here, we're trading right there. For upside, needs to break above 1867. We have a speed bump right there at 1910. So let me mark our key resistance. Oops. Key resistance. Key resistance is gonna be right here. So we wanna see first a hold of above the main daily, which is 1831, 1836, but run into earnings only if we break above 1909, 1941. If we can't hold 18, we're gonna see the sell into earnings scenario. Now with the move being $3.80, So let's say it's $4, so it's easier for us to do a math. That's kind of a lot for a $18 stock. For $4. So 4 multiplied by 100 divided by 1850. That's like a 20% move. That's a lot. They're expecting a lot from this. So they're expecting a 20% move on Stitch Fix. Let me see the float real quick. The float is 47 million, so it's a low floater. No wonders why they're expecting a big move. It is gonna move fast because the float is very small. Not tiny, but small for a big cap. Okay, so $4. Let's do from 1850, which is a midpoint between 18 and 19 here. So around 1850, that would be 2250, which will bring us the 2279 target. For earnings beat, 2279 overshoot at 2350, 2425. Earnings law miss, we are gonna see 1450. So target will be 1445, 15, and overshoot at 1325. Let's check PAYX. Trading below the yearly. Expected $2. So on the stock, on the $18 stock, you're expecting a 20% move, and it's only $81.50 stock. You're expecting, what is it, $2 multiplied by 100 divided by 81, 2.50%. That's very reasonable, I guess. Floats, PAYX, 319 million, so the float is not small. The truth is that the volatility on this contract is very low, 27% for earnings. I understand that it's only a monthly, they don't have weeklies, but even so, I think is low. This is interesting because it does move big. This was last earnings. It went from 85 to 81, so $4. Yeah, this one didn't move at all. Okay, makes sense. This doesn't move much. It doesn't let's put it like this, doesn't consistently moves much. So that's why the expected move is not too much, but okay, so sell into earnings if below 81. What is it? Let me mark it up so I don't. Please be blue, please be blue. Ah, okay. Okay, just want to give me a little bit more work. Okay, there you go. So sell into earnings if below 80.90. Run into earnings if above 82.36. You can actually start from here. So run into earnings above this pivot 81. What is it? I'm trying to grab it for you guys. 81, 85, 82. So above 81, 85, 81.99, we're gonna have, you can possibly have a run into earnings. Remembering the 83.50 is a very strong level, so you may hit heads there. If you take a long on this setup, make sure to take some partial over there. The 82.36 is next month's quarterly, so the algos are going to be playing that as well. Keep an eye on it. And so let's do our math here real quick. $2. I still think that's low, but let's calculate based on the implied move. So let's say it trades in between here. So 82 plus 2, 84 is going to be, so target to the upside would be 83.50, 84.40. Overshoot at 85.13, 85. So overshoot target is going to be 85. Downside, if you miss, the target is going to be 79. And overshoot at 77.97. No, change that. This is too close though. You have a yearly pivot here at 80.41. Depending on where it goes, if it runs into earning, that will be the downside target. A market. So this is the deal. If you have a run into earnings and you're trading between 82.40 and 83.51, the missed earnings target is going to be 80.41, 80.92. And if we don't, the downside is going to be 77.96, 78.77. We've overshoot at right here 76.89. Or you can even use this pivot from next quarter, 77.98 is your overshoot. BBBY, $1.52. Now this is volatility from earnings. It was 173%, guys. 1.5. That's about 1.5029 divided by 9. That's about 15.5%. So 15.50% move on the stock implied in the options. If you had this level, look at that short. I need to start putting, oh, remind me later. Wait, I need to start putting some alerts on those smaller stocks. They have some good moves as well. So 1.5, right? $1.5. Did I open the wrong stock? Yeah, that was AMRN. So 1.5, we're gonna see a run into earnings. If breaks above $10, and we're gonna see a sell into earnings if breaks below 9.70. Now with a $1.5 move, upside target is gonna be 11, 11.21. Now that's going to depend if it's going to run or not into earnings, right? With overshoot at 12.10, 12.26. If we miss earnings, downside 8.57, 8.70, with overshoot at 7.50, 7.90. PEP, we're hanging there, guys. We're going to have 3 more earnings plays. PEP 3.80, implied move 33% on the option chain, implied. So the IV is not that bad for earnings play. So 3.80. It's trading right below. So it's trading below key zone right there. I could see a run into earnings only if it breaks above 136.20 and hold. And most likely we're going to see a sell into earnings if it breaks below 134.80. 134.80. How much again? 3.8. Let's say 4, so it makes our life easier. Again, I'm gonna catch the midpoint. 134. Well, let's say over here 135.50. So 139.50. If we beat earnings, target is gonna be 138.50. And you can count this high here, 139.26. Overshoot is going to be way up high at 141.37, 141.89. You can even think maybe the whole number, 140. But pivot-wise would be, you have this previous pivot at 140 right here. So maybe that's it. But current pivots 141.37, 141.89 overshoot. Downside target 131. I want to say the downside target would be 132.90, 133.51, even though smaller than the expected move. And then we put overshoot to 130.99, 131.30. So miss earnings 132.89. Can even, let's put over here 132.50, 132.89, 133.40 zone is the downside miss earnings. Overshoot at 130.73, 130.99, 131.30. Let's see, STZ, big mover. I think it's a low floater. Let me check. $151. Not too much, not too little. Oh, wow. Inside, look at this, guys. Inside transaction, minus 27%. So the insiders sold 27% of this stock, of their positions. That's huge. Wouldn't think that this is going to miss. Maybe somebody knows something. That's interesting. So earnings are upcoming, and then you have insiders selling 27% of their positions. That's weird. Let's see the expected move, $11. That is weird. That leads me a little bit towards the downside on this. Look at this. You see here, this is the open interest, and this is the volume for Friday, right? The open interest, look at 850, 862, 610. Look at this. On the put, 175 put, 2,189 open interest. Isn't that something interesting? So you have insiders selling 25% of their positions, and you have this open interest of 2,100 on the 175. That makes me think. So how much it is? 11 bucks? Running into earnings if holds above 207.26. Sell into earnings if below 205. Can even start if it goes below 205.89. So 205, 205.89. Now, if we beat earnings target, always look at this 212, which is the early pivot. So upside target 212.88, overshoot at 216.50 to 17.24. Miss earnings is going to be here, 197, 198, with overshoot to 194. I really like this 191. 191, 194, and ideally 184, 187, super overshoot move on this. That's a stretch though, guys. Don't expect that. That's a big stretch. So yeah, that would be it. If we sell into earnings and we land at 200 minus 11, that's 189. So we'll reach this here, and our overshoot will be less impossible at 184.56, 187.12. Yeah, that's a good analysis right there. And last one, Costco. Costco earnings is per order of earnings day. So Costco was the last one. Is on the 3rd, which is Thursday. Thursday after market close. So this has a lot of time until there, so numbers may be off a little bit. Costco, 12.75, 50%. All right. So you can say we're gonna sell into earnings if below 285, run into earnings if above 287.70, 288.30. How much is again? 12.75. So let's say 13 to make it easier. Calculate midpoint on the main weekly, 287. I already forgot. 13. That would be 300. So earnings beat target 373, 301.92. Overshoot at 308, 30, 310.08. Sell into miss earnings. The target is going to be 277.79. So 276, 277.80. Overshoot at 271, 273. And a little stretch at 269.50. Yeah, guess that's it, guys. We did a lot of stuff. It's what, an hour and 40 minute stream? Not bad. If maybe even more. Is more than 2 hours stream. It's all right, guys. I hope you enjoy. Thank you for staying around that long. I really appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. And I see you tomorrow for pre-market trading at 7 a.m. EST. Take care and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye-bye.